Welcome to No Excuses. My name is Mary Fran, and this is my place to come talk about weight loss, life, fitness, living my life to the fullest. Today we are at Fort Ritchie. We came today basically to fly drones and to just kind of have fun. And it is a little bit overcast, a little bit cloudy. But I figured instead of showing you some of the buildings like I did before, I would actually talk to you about the history of this old military base. So let's get to it. I will be inserting some of the footage from our previous visit here as I talk about the base and the history of this property. So I hope you enjoy, and that's why you're going to have some overcast skies and some nice blue skies. This is actually known as the Lower Lake, and it was the original man-made lake that they built. It was finished in, I believe, 1891. I think the story about the lake and the railroad is hysterically funny. In 1889, the Buena Vista Ice Company out of Philadelphia purchased the 400 acres that now makes up Fort Ritchie. They had plans to build a man-made lake and to use that lake to cut ice and ship it on the nearby Western Maryland Railway line to the towns of Baltimore and Washington, D.C. The first man-made lake was completed in 1901, and a railroad spur off the Western Maryland line was built. Everything was going good until they realized that the steam engines coming up alongside the lake was going to spread soot and ash all over the clean ice, making it unusable. This caused them to build a second lake attached to the first further up the way. It's now known as the Upper Lake. Over the years, however, the demand for ice decreased, and the Buena Vista Ice Company no longer needed the property. In 1926, the Maryland National Guard began to investigate several different locations where they could operate a summer training camp. A decision for the ice company property was based on the proximity to the Western Maryland Railway line. The National Guard operated here from 1926 until 1942, and in 1942, the U.S. Army actually took over this Camp Ritchie and turned it into a training facility for military intelligence. And we have the church. The church actually is abandoned. The congregation still meets at the community center, but the building is no longer in use. If you go and look in the windows, you can see that the pews are still there. A lot of the church items are still there. The sanctuary is still set up, but the church is no longer in use. So if I swing around from the church, we can see this is an extra building that the church has used. That building over there is abandoned. It is just a shell of a building. You can see us walking through it here. Don't know what this building was used for, but the old stone walls are cool. And you can see up above is the row of what I'm assuming are barracks. So you can see down here that the buildings that are in the center of Fort Ritchie are for the most part boarded up, maintained, and in good shape. It is the buildings that are about a road or two away from the center of Fort Ritchie that are open for going through and that are in really bad shape. This building is also empty. This has a neat bathroom upstairs though. Little fancier.
And I bet they were toilets, weren't they?
I'm gonna say so. Two toilets. Sinks were right here because there's the paper towels. Paper towels are still left.
Somebody even says it's the poo room.
Someone had 7 years bad luck. And yes, the poo room. That's funny. Fort Ritchie closed in 1998 due to the 1995 realignment and decommissioning of a lot of Army bases. Since then, the property has fallen into some fit of disrepair, and multiple projects have been started and attempted, but as of right now, there is nothing happening with most of these buildings. The community center is still active, and there are a few buildings that are used, such as the building that is used for Penmar Park headquarters, and the property is just gorgeous. It is just a nice property to utilize for a day. I only hope that the property remains open for those of us who enjoy the history, the open spaces, and the mountain air. Thanks for exploring with us today. Today we had a lot of fun. We played with the drones. I actually have my camera out and I'm having a blast with just photography. So we had a really good day. Just remember, there are no excuses. Live your life. Explore the world. Be happy. Enjoy life. No excuses.